everyone. My name is Paloma Duran. I'll be taking you through this video presentation today. I would like to introduce the founder and international director of ISV, Mr. Randy Sykes. Randy has spent his entire life working with youth and student programs, including running summer camps, teaching drama, and coaching sport teams. His lifelong passion and vision for inspiring youth to make a positive impact on our planet continues to be the driving force behind ISV's mission to this day. So let's begin with ISV's background and how we got started. This portion of our presentation will be narrated by Narelle Weber. Narelle was actually a student participant on one of ISV's early cultural exchange programs and then came on as a tour leader before collaborating with Randy on putting together the life-changing ISV volunteer program. But I'll let Narelle tell the story.
Okay guys, let me tell you a bit about the ISV background. About 35 years ago, ISV started taking students overseas to Europe with a performing arts show called 200 Years of American Song and Dance. We would recruit students from all over North America and produce the show in New York City and then travel for 6 weeks performing in parks and palaces, from convention centres to street performances to tens of thousands of people all over Western Europe. Then in the early 90s, we wanted to give students an opportunity to experience a little bit more of the cultures from different countries. And so we began our cultural exchange programs with students from all over Europe, the United States, South Africa, Australia and New Zealand. It was all about giving back and sharing your culture as well as learning from another culture while living in the homes of other students. The program grew, and after a few years there were thousands of students from 4 continents travelling with us. I actually travelled on that program in 1998 to the USA and then came back as a tour leader in 1999. In 2002 we started up International Student Volunteers' first ever volunteer and adventure travel programs with 100 students. 50 went to Costa Rica and 50 went to Australia that first year. Now in the early 80s and 90s, students would always say on their evaluations, "This is the best experience of my life." But now they were saying something different. We were blown away as students began to say, "This program with ISV has changed my life." Students went back home with a new inspiration, and many of them even changed their majors. Others returned to the host country and began to start their own volunteer and or non-profit organisation to continue to make a difference. The short and simple was that ISV went from 100 students the first year to 3,000 to 5,000 students every year. The ISV program has made a significant positive impact on our planet and received global recognition as a world leader in student volunteer and adventure travel programs. Our director serves on one of the boards of the World Youth and Student Travel Confederation. Now, ISV has chosen to focus on students, both university and high school, because students are the heartbeat of society today, and they're also our leaders for our world tomorrow. We strongly believe that we've only begun to scratch the surface in terms of our collective ability to change the world for the better.
Let me take a moment to share with you just a few reasons why students all over the world prefer ISV's volunteer program. Student participants have rated their ISV program an average of 4.85 out of 5. ISV has 32 members of the U.S. Congress, including U.S. Senators, serving on ISV's Board of Reference as an endorsement of the ongoing volunteer efforts that our students accomplish globally. ISV is certified by the President's Council on Service and Civic Participation to distribute the President's Volunteer Service Award. This award was first created by President George W. Bush in 2003 to recognize the important contributions Americans of all ages are making within their communities and throughout the world through service and civic engagement. In 2010, ISV was named as one of the top 10 volunteer organizations by the U.S. Center for Citizen Diplomacy in conjunction with the U.S. State Department. ISV has recently entered into a partnership with Major League Baseball's 2013 World Series MVP and 9-time All-Star David Big Papi Ortiz to make a phenomenal impact in the impoverished community near David's birthplace in the Dominican Republic. To tell you about the quality of our project and tour leaders in country, here is May JD, who has worked for ISV for 6 years as a Thailand tour leader.
One of the things that makes the ISV program so special and so well received by students is the quality of our project leaders and tour leaders. Each project and tour leader is carefully selected based on their education, experience, and background. Approximately 85% of our project and tour leaders are hired locally in country, supporting sustainable livelihood and the local economies in communities where ISV operates.
ISV has partnered with over 100 volunteer organizations, including academic institutions, grassroots organizations, government organizations, NGOs, and other nonprofits to further our mission to positively change our world. We have reached out and partnered with organizations such as the Red Cross, the Peace Corps, Habitat for Humanity, UNICEF, the Sierra Club, and Conservation Volunteers Australia. As I stated before, the ISV program is not only the highest rated student volunteer and travel program in the world, but it is in fact the perfect balance between 2 weeks of meaningful volunteer work followed by 2 weeks of fun and educational adventure travel, which allows students to receive both the phenomenal satisfaction of making a significant contribution by giving of themselves, and then exploring the various cultures and experiencing all the natural wonders that their host country has to offer. From exotic beaches to the remote jungles, from majestic mountains and volcanic peaks to the fascinating hidden cave systems.
Randy Sykes was awarded by the World Youth and Student Travel Confederation with the first ever Youth First Award for a lifetime of dedication to numerous categories of youth and student travel. Over 100,000 students have participated in Randy's travel programs across the globe.